Metaphysical Energy Healing, Chapter 1, Section 3, Wheels of Light. Quote, "Your body is woven from the light of heaven." Unquote. Rumi, 13th century Sufi poet. We met Saturday morning in a small adobe conference room, just large enough to hold the 40 people gathered there. Tables and chairs were ranged in a rectangle. A massage table was in the center. A small stool sat there, conspicuously empty. I took a seat nearly directly across from Rosalind. I talked with those around me as everyone came in, but watched her with strong curiosity. Armed with a pen and notebook, I felt ready for what was to come. I wasn't. Rosalind was clearly a special person. She smiled easily, but seemed very down to earth and serious in an engaging way. There was something enigmatic about her. I felt oddly different that morning, although I still cannot describe it. A palpable anticipation filled the room. There was something quite magnetic about her personality that appeared to be driving some sort of sensation in me. It was as if the very air held it. Some unknown energy seemed to be emanating from her. I knew I was in the presence of someone great, but as yet I could not define what that meant. She was conversing with those around her, and I longed to be in that group. I had been asking questions about her, and it was pretty clear that most of the participants did not know her very well. Yet Rosalind was chosen to teach us. Why? I also wondered what the nature of the experiment truly was. I was about to get this information up close and personal. After she was introduced, Rosalind launched into a discussion of the human energy fields, as casually as you might discuss anything ordinary. Her descriptions of the human energy fields bounced between scientific terminology and spirituality. She spoke of the extraordinary as if it were ordinary. Her explanations seemed more like that of a scientist than a mystic. She told us that we each had a well-explored anatomy and physiology, composed of subtle energy. This energy body was created by subtle unseen energies, and that these energies had been used for centuries for healings and spiritual advancement. I was enthralled. Since I was a child, I had a profound interest in both. She spoke of powerful unseen organs, spinning wheels of light called chakras, Chakras, that communicated with each other through subtle but detectable channels. She spoke of fields of information surrounding the body like a cocoon of light. She spoke of the ancients who manipulated this hidden energy and the subtle fields it created. She described a path to healing that was entirely new to me. Even more amazing, it all made sense. I hold a degree in molecular, cellular, and developmental biology from the University of Colorado at Boulder. One of my most important teachings from that experience came from a professor in that program. He was very clear that all interactions from the subatomic level upwards have no physical reality in the way we think they do. Like most scientists, we were shown the stick and ball model of molecules as if they were actually real in some physical sense. The truth is that atoms and molecules are clouds of vibratory energy. Our professor was quite adamant about that. You can be certain of it. Physics now theorizes that at the smallest, most basic level, we are nothing but vibration. Rosalind told us that we could use that set of vibrations to heal in a very different and real way. I was captivated. These vortex-like centers were like organs in that they had known functions. Although each chakra had a connection with a particular organ system, such as the kidney or heart, they had functions best described on the emotional and spiritual level. I was familiar with the concept of chakras, having been exposed to it at the Fellowship in Integrative Medicine. She was speaking of them quite differently, however. She discussed briefly how the centers were interconnected and how they transferred chi, energy, and subtle information from one spinning organ to another. She spoke of the energy as being actual information. She spoke of the chi as having nutritive qualities for the body, mind, and soul. She spoke of energy as information. She spoke of these spinning chakra wheels as the generative source of a set of fields that extended from, enclosing, and permeating the physical body. I was familiar with the Hindu tradition's sevenfold chakra system, yet Rosalind was clear that there were many more, perhaps as many as the number of cells of the human body multiplied by at least a factor of 7. I was fascinated by this information. As a cellular biologist, I had never thought how information of this nature might be transmitted through the body. These centers were all simultaneously transferring information as energy. It was a form of communication. I was curious as to what form of energy she was speaking of. She did not describe it as electricity or sound or light. She simply used the word energy. She spoke with quiet authority about how this energy could be manipulated through the force of will and conscious intent. She described how this energy could be obtained, transmuted, and emitted by the human being. I was aware that practitioners of Qigong claimed to do this very thing for medicinal purposes. Her voice was firm, as one with certain knowledge. My idea that this was pure fantasy began to erode. Rosalind was very clear. This was a natural process that was occurring every moment that we lived. It is occurring with you right now. I and others have learned how to manipulate these subtle energies. With this audiobook, I hope to allow you the wonder of manipulating your subtle energies. The very concept that an unseen and perhaps immeasurable form of conscious energy formed, pervaded, and informed the physical manifestation we call a human being was very new to me. Yet that was precisely what Rosalind was saying. The implications of this are astounding. Had the science of medicine missed or ignored perhaps the most important of all forces, concentrating solely on what could be conveniently measured? It certainly seems so. How could I explore this world? I was on the edge of my seat.